Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Fortis Gnome tutorial. Today I'm super excited to bring you the Shaky Sand design. Now this is a design based off of Eagle Eye 621 and I'm going to be adding a couple extra things to it. First off, we're going to be adding an item collection system. He did not mention how to do so, and it's kind of specific of how you're going to want to do it. Number two is a better on-off switch. This one is much smaller, much easier to build in survival. So let's get into it, guys. Okay, I'm going to flash an item list right here on the screen. You can go ahead and pause, or I will leave it down in the video description for you. But anyhow, let's get started with a chest. And go ahead, build 2 blocks right on top, break the bottom one. We're going to place 2 boats now. Kind of step back a little bit from your chest, right? We're going to look kind of in the center and go ahead and place, same thing on the top block. And then you can go ahead, break this block. The boats will sit on top of each other. Come from your chest 1, 2 blocks and build up by 3. And now we're going to be placing our sand, just like so. If it doesn't sit like that, you have to replace your boats better in the center of your block. Go ahead, break all your temporaries, and now we can put 6 sand right on top. All of them should be shaking just like so. So now we need to stabilize our sand, because if we come up here, you can see we can't put the bamboo on. It's just going to continuously break, so we have to get it to not shake for a little bit. So how to do so, we're going to come 1, 2, 3, 4 from our chest temporary block, 2 sticky pistons, and then a piece of glass pane. Just like so. Okay, now come over to the other side. We're going to go 1, 2 blocks temporary, then regular piston, not sticky. Go ahead and break that. Now power this piston. It's going to push over your boats a little bit. That's okay. Go ahead, power this piston, then this one, and then you should see that the middle 2 have stopped shaking. Now that was the hardest one. The next 2 are pretty easy. So we're going to come down from the chest. We're going to break these out. So 2 under the chest. We're going to place 2 pistons, place 2 more on top, and then find a way to power these. So I'm going to be using redstone blocks for all of these. It's the easiest. So go ahead, power the bottom ones. This one's automatically going to be powered because of this one, but then go ahead, power that one. You'll see we have stopped our shaking on this side. We're going to do the same exact thing on the other. Redstone, redstone, voila, there we go. So now it's all done shaking. Now we can come on top. We can place our bamboo now. Look at that. Awesome. And then you don't want to start taking stuff out. You want the bamboo to be at least grown by 1, just like so. That way you actually get the pole, because it will still break that. But if it's like this, perfect. And at this point, you're going to want to put 3 slime blocks on top of one side. The side doesn't really matter. And to break everything, we're going to do it in order. So come to one of your sides. We're going to break out these pistons, just like so. And then we'll come around to the other side, break these ones. Clean all of this up, and then this side is a little trickier, I guess you could say. We're gonna break this side first. So basically we have to unextend our piston. So we're gonna pull that, power this one, pull that out, because we're trying to get our glass block back out. And there we go. So everything should be good. If you had a piece of sand fall, your boats were in the wrong place at some point in time. So carefully break your glass, because well, in creative, I could break those easily. So there you go. That's the basis of it. Okay, so we're going to start here on the front of the build. When I say front, I mean front of the chest. That's going to be our reference point. So we're going to come out to the back right here and up by 1 block. And we're going to wrap this sand with some packed ice here. Make sure it's packed ice or blue ice. Just don't use regular. It'll cause you problems down the line with melting and whatnot. Packed ice and blue ice don't melt. So next up, we're going to come up by 1 block. This is part of the 52 building blocks. And we're going to do this on each side, just like so. And then we're going to come to the back, add 1 more block, break out those 2. Those were just temporary. I'm going to switch to yellow stained glass. This is also still part of the same 52 building blocks. And we're going to come up by 2, just like so. And at this point, you can also bring your slime blocks out by 2 more. And go ahead on this glass block here, you can go ahead and put a sticky piston facing into the slime blocks, just like so, because this will reach out and then they'll pull back and forth, breaking off our sugarcane. Nope, that's not sugarcane, that's bamboo. Let's go ahead, take our redstone repeater. We're going to be facing one towards the sticky piston and then one in the opposite direction. Then we're going to take our redstone dust. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then wrap around the chest, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. take an observer, place it facing out towards our sticky piston over here. At this point, I'm going to be using a different block. This white concrete can be any solid block that you wish. Go ahead, place a sticky piston right behind it, and one more solid block on top. I'm going to grab this lever, and right there, you see how we get a nice little clock going. At this point, you can add 2 ticks of delay. It should probably stop, and then when you restart it, you get a nice little clock here. If you do it any faster, it doesn't really go much faster, and it just gives you way too much lag for what it's worth. So at this point, there we go. Now we have to get this line connected up to the top. I always find it's best to start at the piston and work our way down. If we use glass, we can make a nice little redstone elevator, just like so. And we can run it up and over. And make sure this does come out by 2. Because if you do it like this, for some reason, it doesn't connect to the piston. But if we come out by 1, you'll see, voila. But if we break it, I don't know why. It's just that 1 extra does us a lot of justice. So there we go. It is technically functional. If you wanted to leave it like this, you could. I highly don't recommend it. So let's move on and make this a little more lossless. You know, we had some stuff that landed on top. If we run this, it'll just sit on top of the slime blocks here. That was another flaw to Eagle Eye 621's design as well. He didn't put anything on top to prevent things from landing on top. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some furnaces. This can be any immovable object, and we're just going to place it on top of our slime blocks here. And I'm going to come around, and we're going to build up a little bit, right? So we're going to come out just by 1 block with the glass, and then we can, if I get it in the right spot, that always helps, you know? We can also put some more furnaces here, and go ahead, break out these top 2 glass on the back, replace those with furnaces, or any immovable object for that matter. Come down by 1 block right there and right underneath the slime blocks. This just prevents, you know, it gives us a solid block to block all of the drops from falling out, and the slime blocks can't move them. So it works out really well, but we will always have this little block, and it's not highly probable, but it's possible. So just keep that in mind, that you may have 1 block out there that you can't do anything about. And then I'm going to cover this all on the top, and if we take a look, it should look really good, just like so. You know, nothing's going to land on top, everything's going to land in here. So turn that off. Now we can move on to our storage. Okay, so we're going to start with our chest here, and we're going to do that by coming from the center right underneath the ice block, 1, 2, placing a double chest. Now we're going to do this in an interesting way, but trust me, it works out pretty well. We're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, and then from each of the sides, these are going to face into the existing hoppers, and then we're going to hop into here, hoppers, and then place 4 facing outwards. So just like so. This basically allows, most of our items are going to come onto these top 2 hoppers right here. So basically, it's going to try to go down first, and if it can't go down, it's going to go over. So basically, we're pushing items as fast as we can out of this 1 hopper, because we're going to get so many that are filling it that it's going to become important to try to get them out as fast as possible. Technically, you could just do 1 hopper on each end, 2 different chests, but it's gonna backlog really quickly. This farm is way too quick for just a single hopper chain. Even a double hopper chain isn't fast enough for this. But anyhow, we're gonna go ahead, wrap this with glass, and this is where we're gonna take our signs right here, and we're gonna just place each down. I'm shift clicking these signs into place, just like so. Now no water can come into here. I just realized I put this in the wrong spot. These can come right here for temporary use. And now we can take our 2 water sources. So one's going to go in the back there, one's going to go in the back over here. And there you go. That's basically all done and dusted. If we go ahead, we can see, works out really nicely. And yep, now we get an insane amount of bamboo filtering in really quickly. We can also see that this hopper is able to keep up because of this item sorting system here. Now these back 2, the 2 in the back here, aren't really doing much. Sometimes they get an item, but not often. You could honestly probably get away with it if you put a solid block here, but there is that chance of you losing some of your items, and we're trying to make this as lossless as possible, right? We want every item that, you know, we possibly can get, and look at that. I've had it on for what, 10 seconds it is, and it's already up to there. That's pretty amazing. I love it. But there are some other things that we can do, and because you want this to look nice in your base, right? So what I like to do with this one is move the off on switch. I'm gonna have to fix that in a second, but basically, if I go ahead, I can do something like this. We can break that. Bring this down, bring this side down. That looks pretty good, right? But you don't want your on-off switch to be back here, so we can do something pretty simple. Let's take some redstone, a repeater. We can run the repeater into there. Some dust, bring it up by 1, and grab another lever. Place it on the front there, and I broke all the redstone underneath. We also have to make sure that we're not connecting these two redstone lines together, so something simple like that will work out really well. And there you go. This could be your nice little front. You can pull the glass out farther. You do whatever you need to do in your world. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This was a fun one to do. I was really happy that I could approve upon the already great design. But if this is too small for you, go check out Eagle Eye's channel. He has a lot of these, gravity tick sands, shaky sand stuff on his channel with bigger designs if you need something bigger than this. I'm a practical person. I feel like 13,000 or 30,000 items an hour is plenty enough for me and plenty for most of you. But if you need something bigger, go check it out. He has some really cool stuff. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.